Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Mysterio. Oh, just a Myst. Hi. Boop. Myst. This puzzle game was one of the first titles I have ever played on my PC. That was around 30 years ago, but don't worry, this version I'm talking about is fully remastered in 3D and you can even play it in VR. So here you arrive to a beautiful island shrouded in mystery so you could unravel its secrets. As you learn what happened here, you will find that you are playing the key role in an epic story whose ending has not yet been written. One thing I must mention here is that the puzzles here are really difficult, so if you are not some puzzle game veteran, be careful here, because your gameplay can become a never-ending Google fest. Anyway, the game is gorgeous, it has nice steampunk and clockwork science elements in it, and that is always a feast for the eyes, and it will melt your smooth brain, maybe in a good way. Predator Hunting Grounds. An example of a very popular genre now, a symmetrical shooter that pits humans against Predator. If you played or at least know what Dead by Daylight game is all about, Predator Hunting Grounds is kinda the same. You will have to complete challenging missions as a part of a 4-person team to escape, and as a Predator you will have to hunt them all down. Although keep in mind that the game can feel a bit unbalanced, it tends to put players of different skill levels in one match, so Predator Hunting Grounds is obviously best enjoyed in the group of friends, or, you know, in a group of strangers that decided to play together by meeting each other in some Discord group. The review score is around 80% and the price is kinda nice. But remember, if you don't like it, don't go over 2 hours of gameplay time and you can refund it. And don't leave it running in menu screen, that counts as well. SOMA. Here you'll explore an abandoned underwater facility in the bottom of the ocean. You don't know what happened here, where everybody is, and what is your purpose.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Although soon enough you will find out that you are not alone here. You will walk through creepy corridors, experience weird paranormal events, and all the time feel the hundreds of meters of water above you. And not everybody you'll meet on this journey will be willing to give you a direction or two. Most of the inhabitants will be willing to make a potato salad out of you instead, so be careful. If you played any Amnesia game, be aware that SOMA's gameplay is basically the same, just set in absolutely different place. The game has a few jump scares, but in general it is a slow burner, where the game takes its time to create the atmosphere of claustrophobic loneliness, pretty much like in Alien Isolation. You know that no one will help you in the time of need, and that time of need will definitely come, probably not once and not twice. SOMA has a great story, cool ending, and is a masterpiece in general. Shadow Tactics: Aiko's Choice. The game is a standalone expansion of the Shadow Tactics franchise, meaning that you are not required to have the main game to play it, and that Aiko's Choice is a full game with no strings attached. It is set in Japan around the early Edo period. Aiko's Choice is a stealth strategy where the main protagonist is a master of camouflage and distracts enemies disguised as a geisha. But it's not the only character you will be able to control. An agile ninja, mighty samurai, young thief, wise marksman, and perverted penis doctor joins your course as well. Well, maybe not the latter, but you never know who is gonna jump to your aid unexpectedly. The Eternal Cylinder. You know how we are always whining about all the games being the same. All the games copy other games, and then some copies become even more popular than the originals, and then everyone is copying the copies until the cycle repeats itself. Yeah, that's not the case with the Eternal Cylinder. I doubt that I have seen anything like this. The game is obviously inspired by some crazy artist or made by one, so here you'll control this cute creature and wander around with various tasks. But the true meaning of this game lies in its name. An enormous rolling cylinder is approaching, and you, along with everything around, are its pizza dough. It is a mobile megastructure of unknown origin. It has destroyed and absorbed countless civilizations over the billions of years of its existence, and will do the same to you and your land. It can be delayed, but it has never been truly stopped.
Well, maybe bigger being can stop it.
What do you mean by bigger being?
I'm talking about your mama.
Oh, shut up. So I guess if you fail, everyone will die. Game has very positive reviews and it's really underrated. Also, the soundtrack is free to download. That is not what you see every day in this greedy world, that's for sure. Hidden Deep. This is an atmospheric sci-fi action game heavily inspired by Aliens, The Thing, and even Half-Life. You will explore, climb, swim, scan, blast, and shoot your way through dangerous missions in a huge sub-oceanic mining and research facility. And you will meet many new friends here as well. They are so happy to meet you that they want to eat you. Yeah, I rhymed that on purpose. I am a poet. Look, there's more.
Roses are red, violets are blue. You spend all your money on games.
Anyway, you can play this game alone or in co-op mode with friends or your mother-in-law. But keep in mind that the game is in early access. If you buy it now and play it now, you can't legally complain about any issues and still look smart. So be careful and read the comments on Steam. You never know. Hitman Absolution. Betrayed by the agency and hunted by the police, you find yourself pursuing redemption in a corrupt and twisted world. Players around the globe are saying that this is one of the best, or maybe even the best Hitman game. It has a kinda predictable story, but it doesn't really matter. The gameplay and your approach to missions makes all the difference. Will you disguise yourself as a policeman, crazy convict, butcher, or a doctor of ding-dongs? You never know until you play. This game kinda teaches us that other people will always judge you by your clothes. And if you're not agreeing with me, come on, dress like a clown for your next job interview. Or, you know, like a priest and try to get a job in the kindergarten.
Challenge accepted.
Anyway, this is a great game, and I think that if you have never played anything from the Hitman franchise, this is a great game to start. Clash: Artifacts of Chaos. From the very first moment I saw the game, I instantly realized that I'm seeing something great, something far beyond the games I'm used to. The art style here is awesome, and the game is great as well. I should probably start by saying that this is a story-rich, Souls-like RPG adventure game. You play as Sudo, a master of martial arts who lives as a recluse in the strange land of Xenozoic. When you cross paths with a small creature whose mysterious powers have attracted the attention of some evil lady, you decide to protect him, unaware that much greater forces are involved. But you don't care because you are awesome and everyone else just suck. They don't know that yet, so you are eager to bring wisdom. And by wisdom I mean bloodshed and broken bones. Your fists and speed are your greatest weapons. You will attack, dodge, stun, block or counter a parry to land a special attack. You can even switch to a first-person view to perform unique techniques. Each time it's up to you to seize the occasion to achieve a victory. If this is not a hidden gem in its truest sense, I don't know what is. If you like difficult and trippy games, this is a must. Unrailed. This is a chaotic railroad construction game where you work alone or way better together with your friends as a team to build a train track across endless procedurally generated worlds. You will master encounters with its inhabitants, upgrade your train and keep it from derailing. That is easier to say than to do, believe me. Chaos will overwhelm you and your bodies more than once. The game is not as dramatic as Overcooked games, for example, but you can for sure understand what will happen if you fail to communicate. This game has pretty good AI as well, so if your friends are dead, or if you are dead to them, then playing this game with the help of friendly AI will be fun as well. Smalland: Survive the Wilds. You'll traverse puddles as big as a lake, scale skyscraper-sized trees and scramble through cavernous cracks in roads as you explore a huge open world from a new perspective. Well, honestly, we all saw this in Grounded already, but that game is obviously oriented to a younger audience, and Smalland is more like a traditional open-world RPG with heavy crafting and survival elements. Yeah, keep that in mind. The game is filled with various challenges. The squirrel gangs that see you as a walking peanut can be a little overwhelming and add an unexpected twist to your tiny adventures. One of the coolest things is that you can ride various creatures, and not only on the ground, there are plenty of flying mounts as well. And for me, after flying for countless hours in Hogwarts Legacy, it's very hard to go back to any game that doesn't have this feature. Anyway, you can play the game alone or with friends, but keep in mind that it is still in early access, so you can run into various problems nobody else has ever even seen before. Also, if you are afraid of spiders, fair warning, you are a pussy. I'm kidding, I just wanted to stress out that here you will encounter some realistically looking and moving spiders that may not be compatible with your raging arachnophobia. Hardspace: Shipbreaker. There are so many games where you just fly the spaceships, but have you ever thought about where these ships go when you don't need them anymore? Well, me neither. That would be dumb. But someone couldn't shake the idea and made this game. So here, equipped with cutting-edge salvaging technology, you will carve and slice spaceships to recover valuable materials, upgrade your gear and take on more lucrative contracts, and pay your billion credits debt to a shady corporation. Human life means nothing to them, so you are just a tool with a capability of holding other tools. You know, if your hammer could hold another hammer, nobody would need you at all. Just think about that, how fragile everything is. Anyway, the game is a proud owner of very positive reviews, and if you feel adventurous, this may be your spoon of potato salad. Although be careful, too much of zero gravity can convert you into another space object. A comet. A vomit comet. DREDGE. DREDGE is not just a fishing game, it's a fishing game with a twist. After dark it becomes a Lovecraftian fishing game. The world around you is teeming with creatures from the void, and when the night sets in, our worlds collide and cosmic horrors enter our realm. Not as scary as your ex-mother-in-law, but still terrifying things. So ideally you want to return to a harbor before the night sets in, so you won't become a dinner for some malevolent demigod of the depths. You can also dock in some safe location and sleep during the night. Of course, it is easier said than done, because the game uses a very cool time management mechanic. If you do nothing, time doesn't move. Like for real, if you just swing on the waves and admire the horizon, you can stay like this forever. But when you start sailing, the timer starts ticking, and at 6 PM Lovecraftian madness starts to settle in. This is a wonderful and honestly kinda relaxing game. Well, except when you go into mangroves. Oh, it's not relaxing at all. Anyway, the game is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10. A must play. Resident Evil 2. This is a complete remake of a classic game. Overwhelmingly positive review score softly hints that it was a complete success as well. Resident Evil 2 offers a fresh take on a classic survival horror saga with realistic visuals, immersive audio and a new over-the-shoulder camera. You will also get modernized controls on top of gameplay modes from the original game. I can still remember when I played the original game when I was 14 years old, and somehow I had my mental balls big enough to play it every evening after school. Well, on those rare occasions when I actually went to school. I'm a YouTuber not because I was very good at studying, you know, but I was good at games. That's why you should avoid me if you need your appendix surgically removed, but if you want your boredom removed, I'm your guy, that's for sure. Lies of P. In this Souls-like game, you are a puppet who's caught in a web of lies with monsters and untrustworthy figures. You are awakened by a mysterious voice that guides you through a plagued city of Krat, a once lively place that has been poisoned by madness and bloodlust. If this description reminds you of your ex, then all good, you are half ready for the adventure. Here you will develop a unique combat style to counter your enemies by weaving together dynamic weapon combinations and activating new abilities. Lies of P is a reimagined fairy tale of Pinocchio, reinterpreted as a dark, grim narrative. You know, a Pinocchio for adults. When you lie, it's not the nose that's growing. If you add another P to the name of the game, you will understand what I have in mind. No, really, nothing like that, it's a joke. I played the demo version of the game and all I gathered was, again, that I suck at Souls-like games and I shouldn't even touch them. If you are like me, avoid this title. Few hits from big enemies and you are dead, and you will have to replay the whole chapter again. If that doesn't scare you, keep in mind that the game has around 90% of the positive review score and is probably a thing you want to try. Gods Against Machines. This is an action-packed roguelite strategy where every run is different thanks to a wide variety of spells and skills, as well as procedurally generated maps. You'll have to protect your world and huge crystals that are rising from the ground. These are your source of mana. You will build your base around them with spells that summon different types of buildings, mini volcanoes that drown your enemies in fire from afar, spirit dwellings that spawn powerful sprites to fight for you, and so on. Basically, this is kind of a traditional RTS game. If you played one, you will be right at home. Just be aware of the powerful bosses. When your enemies will use up all the resources, one of their commanders will appear, so prepare for an epic final battle. Although don't expect miracles from the game, it's an indie title with all the flaws indies usually have, from overused assets to seemingly an AI art, but in general the game is fun and the price is not that high as well. Well, at least definitely not as high as Seth Rogen. Warpips. This is a quick to learn but also very fun tower defense strategy game. You will deploy the right composition of soldiers, tanks, helicopters and planes, compose the best army, research the right tech and overwhelm your puny pathetic enemy. Although the game may look like a multiplayer thing, it is absolutely a single player experience made entirely for your personal pleasure. As developers say, if you buy the game, you get the game. No pay to win elements, no microtransactions and no pineapple in potato salad. It's a solid game with randomly generated battles that are different every time you play. People on Steam are saying that Warpips is a great relaxing game where you don't want to dive deep in some complicated story and just want to brainlessly push buttons. Amnesia, the bunker. If you played Alien Isolation, then you know the drill here. There is a monster and it's chasing you. The bunker is a way smaller game than Alien Isolation, but it dwells on the same idea of an elusive monster inhabiting the same place as you. And if in Alien Isolation you found yourself in a giant space station, here you are trapped in a cramped underground tunnel net under the battlefield of the First World War. Don't forget that creators of Amnesia Frictional Games were the pioneers of horror games without weapons. Remember Penumbra? Yeah, that was a gem. So I have no doubt that developers of Alien Isolation took inspiration from the Frictional Games while creating their weaponless xenomorph game. And now Frictional Games took inspiration from Alien Isolation's monster. The circle has closed. The game is really fun, although after seeing the monster a few times, it becomes less scary. So it becomes really playable by various pussies like us. It's a wonderful survival game, and if you like the concept, you are up for a treat. Bonfire Peaks. There is a big chance that you have never heard about this game, but in my channel I am famous for digging up hidden treasures like this. Bonfire Peaks is a puzzle game where you will navigate various environmental riddles in a beautifully designed world. One of the things that was really surprising for me was how much time people have spent playing this game. The medium ground would be around 40 hours, but I have seen several dudes with more than 100 hours of playtime. The game itself has above 90% positive reviews. Even the dude who gave a negative review has 34 hours on record. I guess he's a masochist of some sort. You know, usually when I don't like something, I don't participate in that activity for 34 hours. Just saying, but who am I to judge? Anyway, this is a very clever game with interesting puzzle mechanics that won't let you dive into boredom. Also, you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free. Aliens Fireteam Elite. Have you ever wanted to be a protagonist in the Alien movie? Well, I doubt that, I really do. And if yes, what is wrong with you? Anyway, here, after so many fear-infused hours in Alien Isolation, you can finally get some revenge on these terrifying creatures. You will kill hundreds of them, so it's nothing like the movies. Although it's really fun to play if you have a friend or two. You can play in single player as well, but I assure you that if you want full experience, you will have to find some friends. I know that may be mission impossible, but you can try anyway. You don't need real friends, all you need is some Discord channel with the same-minded people. So here you'll be exploring some friendly planet filled with friendly fauna and live in harmony all together. Except you don't. This game is a carnage where you will have to battle through hordes of different types of xenomorph, customize your character and gear, and level up as you try to contain this ever-growing threat. I especially like the diversity of enemies in this game. They really took their time to create some nasty monsters. The game itself is basically Left 4 Dead just with aliens. I think it's great, and 81% of Steam reviews are also positive. Little Inferno. I ain't gonna lie when I say that this game is crazy. I mean crazy good, because it's a proud owner of an overwhelmingly positive review score. Remember World of Goo? This is another game from the same company. Here you'll throw your toys into your fire and play with them as they burn.
That is the crazy part.
This is an adventure that takes place almost entirely in front of a fireplace, and the cold world is just on the other side of the wall. Little Inferno is a short game, only about 2 hours and a half will be taken from your boring life and made better. Don't hesitate. If you like crazy, this is the crazy you have to try. Starship Troopers Terran Command. This game has a model similar to the Arbillions, where you defend from the hordes of enemies and try to keep your base alive. Also, here you can literally relive the best moments of the Starship Troopers movie by defending your base from hordes of ladybugs. Anyway, here you'll encounter dozens of unique insect types, each with their own special abilities and skills. Also, the map has terrain elevation, true line of sight and true line of fire, providing deep tactical gameplay, meaning that units that stand behind other units can't shoot unless they stand on a higher ground. Sadly, you can't play as an alien insect. It's not off the table completely, developers say, but now you can only play as a military human society. That's it. If you are wondering if you can build a base here, yes you can, but it's not the main focus of the game, I would say. Despite that, it has a very positive review score on Steam, and many commentators are stating that if you like Command & Conquer or StarCraft, you must try Starship Troopers as well, so do not ignore it.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.